Good afternoon. Welcome to GrainTV. I'm Kevin McNew. To my right, Brock Shimano. Brock, we had a very strong day today. Beans were the leader to the upside. What was the driving force today, do you think?
I think some information and some rumors surrounding what China's demand is looking like right now. First, they are rumored to have bought about 6 cargoes of soybeans from us. That's good to see them back in the U.S. market. They've been absent for a couple weeks. I think the second thing that really drove the markets, the outside markets were supportive. We saw the Chinese stocks move about 3% higher in the overnight session. We saw the Dow follow along today, up about 1%. So if the Chinese economic conditions are looking a little bit better than what previously was thought, I think some of that demand is going to come back for U.S. soybeans.
Right. And Stats Canada, our neighbors to the north, showed us a lower than expected canola number for their final estimate. So that might have given a little stimulus to the bean market as well.
I think something else that traders are really looking at was that area of resistance around that 200-day moving average, the top end of that trend that we've been following. Right. As soon as we broke through there, we actually moved quite a bit higher with pretty good conviction today as well.
Yeah, there was a resistance level around 1468. I was watching it today, held for about 30 minutes in the early part of the session, but once we broke that, it was all upside for the rest of the day then, wasn't it, on the close even?
Yeah, I was really looking and paying attention to the close, see if we would stay above that level with pretty good volume. And today we really saw it. We had good volume, had pretty good conviction above that level. So I think this really is a good signal for the bulls at this point.
Yeah, exactly. In the corn market, it was kind of a follower, but we did get some good news out of the ethanol sector for probably the first time in many weeks. With EIA's latest ethanol numbers. Brock, take us through those.
We did see an uptick in production, first time in a couple of weeks now. If you take a look at this chart that we've been following all marketing year long, you can see the red bars are what we're actually seeing for weekly production. We saw 835,000 barrels per day produced this week. The green line is what we need to meet our expectations of 4.375 billion bushels going to ethanol. Right. Keep in mind that this is a little bit lower than what the USDA is currently projecting at 4.5 billion bushels. So it is good to see a slight uptick in this week, but I think the longer term trend is to the downside on this.
Yeah, you continue to watch those ethanol margins, what they're actually making on a bushel of corn. It's still very, very slim. They are not making money at these levels. And with today's uptick in the corn market, that just puts more pressure on them. And really, as you were talking about, ethanol stocks have been going up as well and are significantly higher than they've been in the last few years. So I just don't see ethanol production changing this sort of fundamentally dire situation that we've been in for several months, even with today's latest uptick.
Yeah, it is a good sign for this week, but looking at the longer term picture, stocks this year, this time of year, tend to increase for ethanol, so that's going to put a little bit of pressure back on the ethanol industry. We did see those up about 5.5% this week.
Right. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, we've got export sales coming out tomorrow morning. The trade has pretty modest expectations going into those numbers, wouldn't you say, Brock?
Yeah, we're looking at wheat for about 350,000 to 500,000 metric tons, corn 350 to 550,000 metric tons, and soybeans 500 to 700,000. So pretty modest expectations, but last week we also had modest expectations, missed to the low side on last week's expectations, so it's going to be important to watch those numbers in tomorrow's trade.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if we can hold this rally into tomorrow's numbers. You guys have a great day. Join us on Facebook or Twitter, or call us 877-472-4607.